Without you, I remember myself, my name. Forgot about all you tried to change. Familiar was the sound of your voice as I continue to walk on by. It has been a year and now I'm living on the line. It has been a year and now I'm thinking what's mine, that I'm better off right here without you. That I'm better off right here without you.
Hi everyone, so 10 shades of depression later and the same haircut later actually. Probably about a year and a half ago I made this video and it took me so long to edit it because the quality and everything like that, and I'm basically calling this a project because it's taken me so long, but you guys won't realise how long it's taken me. It's just going to look like a normal video, but you'll see the difference from me before and me now because I look different now. So before we start, I just want to say a massive apology as to why this has taken so long. My mental health has been really bad. It's been really difficult to edit on my laptop. I've got a really slow laptop and I had a slow laptop before this laptop. I've been updating YouTube videos when I can, and I will be doing more, I promise. Me and my boyfriend recently broke up and I'm still really upset about it because I loved him and I don't want to cry right now, for fuck's sake. Excuse my French. So that happened. It's been difficult for the past 3 weeks. It was about 3 weeks ago almost, and when I upload this it's probably going to be over 3 weeks ago. I'm going to be starting working in the British Heart Foundation voluntary in 2 days time, but by the time this is up I would have already done my first day there. I'm trying hard with my mental health, but lately I've been feeling really suicidal. I've not wanted to be here. It was like this before I met my ex and now we've broken up. Everything I had planned out. As many of you know, I have OCD, so when something changes it throws my head a bit, and I think that's what's gone on. That's why I haven't been sleeping properly. That's why I've been so desperate to get him back. I just haven't been able to cope, and I don't want to go into the reason, but there was a lot of disagreements. It wasn't a happy relationship towards the end, and I don't want any of you messaging him or anything like that. If you know who I'm on about, it's up to both of us basically. It's nobody else's business really. But thank you for sending me supportive messages on Instagram and things like that, because I posted a few pictures up of myself on Instagram. I wrote that I was single on there and I got a few messages, people being really lovely, so thank you for that. I do appreciate it. It's just been a really tough time. I really loved him. Before him I had a boyfriend that lasted 7 months and we were best friends for 2 years. We're still best friends now. It's actually been 3 years now, but because me and Matt ended on a bad note, it left me feeling really shit, because he doesn't feel what I feel, and that's what makes it feel so awful. So moving that from the side to the side, sorry, I'm going to get into today's video. So I hope that you don't hate me for taking so long doing this. I have had a lot on my plate. There's been people that have passed away who were close family friends. Somebody close in our family has cancer and I distanced myself. It's been difficult, so enjoy. Hi guys, this is Vent Me No Judge, and today we are going to be talking about what the Bible thinks about homosexuality. This is a weird topic, never talked about anything like this on this channel. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and I'm going to get straight into the video. Comment below if you have any opinions on this by yourself, because I would love to hear what you think and see if anybody else thinks what you think is right. And now I'm just rambling. What is wrong with me? We're going to get straight into it. So I'm going to be reading loads of verses and the ways I interpret them. You might interpret them differently, but I interpret these as different as to what most Christians interpret these as. So I'm going to read you my interpretations and see what you think. I think the other Christians need to read between the lines a bit in these passages if they're gonna quote it. You'll see what I mean very shortly. You shall not lie with a male as with a woman. It is an abomination. Now to me this means don't lie with a male if you're with a woman. Yeah, that's natural anyway. You shouldn't do that anyway. You shouldn't cheat at all anyway. There's so many things about heterosexuality, so they've only put a few in here about being gay. This to me screams lie with a male as you do whilst you're with your missus. Listen to it. You shall not lie with a male as with a woman. As well as. Old text, new text, as well as. Okay? So that's one thing. Now this goes on to the next thing. This is going to be a long video, so make sure you get a drink. Pause the video quickly, get a drink. I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but I'm not very good with things like that. If a man lies with a male as with a woman, meaning if a man lies with a male, or even another woman, really, this screams out to me, just don't cheat. If a man lies with a male as with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. Because, now this strikes me as because, both, there's a reason why they both, yeah, got an abomination thing going on here, is the other man probably knew he was with a woman, or the other man also has a woman. But literally, listen to it, if a man lies with a male as well as woman, yeah, both of them have committed an abomination. So meaning both men. I should read what verses these come from as well. So there's Leviticus. I have no idea what this means because I hardly ever read the Bible. I'm a bad Christian in that case, which is quite bad. Basically, we all interpret it differently to everyone else, and I'm just gonna give this to the homophobic people. This is basically to people that are homophobic, because you can interpret this in so many different ways, and to be honest I ignore this whole part of the Bible because it's very judgmental, and my God is not judgmental, and if he is, then I want him to explain why, and if he doesn't explain it to me well enough, then let me boil, I guess. But hopefully he'll explain it, and all of us, you, me, everyone, will all understand. We all get a chance anyway, whatever, like on the judgment day. I don't know if it's gonna happen, obviously the Bible says it will, so we all get a chance on that judgment day to explain ourselves. That's the way I think of that. And then it goes on to say, they shall surely be put to death, their blood is upon them. Yeah, if you cheat, then you got to pray for forgiveness, basically, because this could happen. Don't cheat. Obviously say sorry to a woman if you've gone with a man, or if you've gone with a woman whilst you're with the man, say sorry. Or do you not know that the unrighteous will not inherit the kingdom of God? Do not be deceived, neither the sexually immoral, nor adulterers, I have no idea what these words mean to be honest, nor men who practice homosexuality practice. Now this is very important. I'm going to look up the word of practice here online. Now if any of you know what practice means, it's like when your parents tell you to practice to make perfect, okay? So it's basically using a man, basically. If you're going to practice with a man, that's using him. There's a lot about heterosexuality in the Bible. There's only a few mentions about homosexuality in the Bible, and I think it's very important that we all see it the way that our Lord tells us to see it, and in my opinion this is the way I've been told to see it. This is the non-judgmental way, the only non-judgmental way you can actually interpret this, okay? Because everything else, if you interpret it any different, very judgmental. Actual application, practice, or use of an idea. So the actual application of an idea, meaning you're practicing, okay, you're trying it out, you decide you don't like it, which means you're going to hell. Well, not if you pray for forgiveness. That is if you practice it, decide you don't like it, say sorry to the person, which is what any normal person would do. Sorry if you can hear the toilet, my mum just went for a pee. The actual application or use of an idea, you're using the idea. Say sorry to the person, or if they knew what they were getting into, that's not practicing, that's experimenting. That's different. You've both decided, but you can't practice on someone without saying sorry unless you both decided to experiment, which is different. They would have mentioned experiment. They mentioned practice. Okay, you're trying it out. You don't like it. Say sorry. Pray to the Lord for forgiveness. That's the way I see this. I don't disagree with homosexuality at all. This is what I'm reading from the Bible, and this is the only way I can see this as being non-judgmental, which could be true. So there's another thing here, another term for practice, and it says the customary, habitual, or expected procedure. So maybe they expect that procedure. Okay, well, obviously every gay person is different. Maybe you don't do the expected procedure, so you haven't done a sin there, or way of doing something. Okay, so you might do it wrong. Okay, nobody knows what wrong is in that, if that's what they mean by practice. That's that one covered. And then repeated exercise. You're practicing, which is an exercise. This literally means if you repeat it and you still don't like it, you've used the other man, and you're with a woman as well, because all of this is like if you're with a woman at the same time and you're using a man to practice on, which is not good. They're saying that's that's unloving. Okay, if they don't know, the man's not aware what you're doing, that to me is what this strikes out as. People look into it too much and then, oh gosh, it's a sin. No, you need to read the joined words. So yeah, if you just, that's that covered. Those 3 definitions of practice, and that's why that is, you probably haven't sinned. If you cheated on someone, you've sinned. Okay, say sorry. That's normal anyway. Like if you're any type of human, you say sorry if you cheated on someone. Ugh, it's so difficult to read this. Just pisses me off. I'll just insert the where to find these at the beginning of each thing, so you'll just see like Corinthians and all of this pop up on the screen as I'm doing this. Romans. Okay, for this reason God gave them up to dishonourable passions. For women exchanged natural relationships for those contrary to nature. Now let me just say something. Nature means natural. Now let me just say something. Animals are gay. Animals are gay. Their nature. Literally it says in the Bible, nature is all around us. Deers, I think it's deers, I don't actually know, but there's like loads of types of animals that do it. This says those that are contrary to nature, not contrary. Look at the animals, they do it, so it's like, that's not contrary. So that could mean anything. That could mean, I don't know, wiping your bum and sniffing it, and that's what you like. Okay, don't know, that's disgusting. But, oh, this is awkward, somebody's looking in at me. Now this bit is the only thing that strikes to me definitely pinpoints being gay, just being gay. But there is another interpretation of this as well, so let's read it. And the men likewise gave up natural relationships with women and were consumed with passion for one another. That's okay. Didn't say that was wrong. That didn't. It just said that it's more natural with a woman. But it said men committing shameless. Okay, shameless. So it could have been with a woman. The man could have been with a woman, and they are feeling shameless because they've cheated on her. They've left her for this man. It could mean that. They're feeling shameless because they've gone with a man. They're not feeling guilty. No, if you cheat on somebody, you're going to feel guilty if you're normal, unless obviously you've both decided on it. Also note that it said their error in this as well. It says receiving themselves the due penalty for their error. They've made a mistake doing that. There was some kind of mistake. It doesn't say that being gay was a mistake. It says they were consumed with passion for one another. This could be going to an example of some men. Some men in biblical time were consumed with passion for one another because they had a woman. Suddenly these men fancied each other, and if this happens again, if they're with a woman and cheat with a man and they are shameless, they don't feel guilty. Let's look up the definition of shameless, okay? Lack of shame. They're not shamed that they've ditched their woman for a man. You've got to remember that there's only a few passages about being gay in this whole Bible. Everything else goes to straight people. This is what it says, characterized by showing a lack of shame, barefaced or brazen. Have no idea what those, I've never even heard of those words, but okay. So his shameless hypocrisy, okay, so I have no idea what that means, but I should know because I did sociology and I've heard that word before, but I don't. So they were shameless. They could have gone with a man whilst they were with a woman. These this is not just about being gay, this is about cheating. This whole thing is about cheating, okay? So I'm going to carry on. I'm going to give this the benefit of the doubt, okay? So the next one. Just as Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding cities, which likely indulged in sexual immorality. So you've got to remember, immoral, not good. You have morals. You should stay with your woman or your man. Stay with just them, okay? Stay with whoever you're with. Don't cheat. This is just all about cheating. Just don't cheat. Make sure the person knows what they're getting into. Show them love. They need to know what they're getting into. Be honest, you know? That's what this whole thing, that's all it is. It could be the other way around, but this is just strictly for the Christians. I just don't listen to any of this, because this is just the way I look at it. So, as you know, as I explained in the shortcut video, the link to that will be in the description. I accidentally deleted the rest of the video, so I'll be doing the rest of the video now. It's going to take me quite a long time to edit. There was a lot that I did edit on that, but oh well, let's just carry on. So this is obviously just the way I look at it. You could interpret this differently. Let me know how you interpret this in the comment section below, and let me know also if you believe in God or not, and why you believe in God and why you don't believe in God. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So I have read so far, you shall not lie with a male as with a woman, it is abomination. I covered that. If a man lies with a male as with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination, they shall surely be put to death, their blood is upon them. I read that and talked about that. Or do you know that the unrighteous will not inherit the kingdom of God? Do not be deceived, neither the sexually immoral or the adulterers, nor men who practice homosexuality. I covered that. For this reason God gave them up to dishonourable passions, for women exchanged natural relations for those contrary to nature. I covered that. And the men likewise gave up natural relationships with women and were consumed with passions for one another. I covered that. Men committing shameless acts and receiving themselves the due penalty for their error. I covered that. So, as I was saying, this is another verse now. The same verse as I was talking about before the video deleted itself. Just as Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding cities, which likewise indulged in sexual immorality and pursued unnatural desire, serve as an example by undergoing eternal fire. Unnatural could mean anything, as I've discussed before. Unnatural could be hugging a tree, that could be unnatural. There's a lot of things that could be unnatural in this life that could be interpreted as unnatural, especially in them days. But if this Bible is true, if God is true and he's saying unnatural, it could mean anything. It doesn't mean homosexual. I mean, animals are homosexual. That's natural in the animal kingdom. Quite a lot of animals do practice homosexual behaviours, so unnatural could mean anything, and in my opinion it doesn't mean being gay. And obviously sexual immorality is basically unnatural, basically covered that. So yeah, that's that one covered. And also with this, I'm pretty sure this verse they were talking about gang rape or something like that, or like prostitutes or something like that. I can't remember what it was all about. There is Gomorrah and the surrounding cities were practicing something or other back then, and it's I can't remember what it is, but it's not being gay. That's my opinion on this, but interpret it as you will, but I'm just telling you another way to look at this. So moving on from that, so carrying on, I've sent myself a list of things that are classified homosexuality, and I'm going to read them out and tell you my views on what this means. So the first one, Corinthians. But because of the temptation to sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife and each woman her own husband. Well, sexual immorality here meaning the desire to cheat, basically, because you need to marry someone so that they don't have the desire to cheat. That's basically what this is saying. And in this day and age, there's a lot more people saying it's wrong to cheat. There's a lot, you know, back then people cheated maybe quite a lot, I don't know, but that's what this means, I am guessing. I don't know why that's underneath homosexuality. That to me doesn't even come close to meaning that, to be honest. So the next one is Kings 14:24, and there were also male cult prostitutes in the land. They did according to all the abominations of the notions that the Lord drove out before the people of Israel. Well, that is about prostitutes. That's not about being gay. That's nothing to do with being gay. I don't know why that's there. And back then there was loads of other jobs. I'm pretty sure that prostitutes weren't paid that much back then. And this day and age, people are prostitutes because you get paid quite a bit. Back then, it was hardly any money. Maybe that's why they said it was an abomination. I don't know. I agree with anything nowadays. Like, I don't care if you're a prostitute, I don't care if you want to call yourself that. I don't care what you are, basically. If you're a nice person, do what you want, be who you want, be who you are, do what you love. It's up to you, basically. The next one, Genesis 19:4-5. But before they lay down, the men of the city, the men of Sodom, both young and old, all the people to the last man, surrounded the house, and they called to Lot, where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us, let them be known. Well, that's also about, I'm pretty sure that's about prostitutes or gang rape or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but it's not about being gay. I seriously don't know why half of these are put underneath being gay. Like, people that actually pinpoint these out, they don't really understand what they're talking about when they say it's about being gay. So, Morny, I can't read that, I'm really sorry. 23:1. No one whose testicles are crushed or whose male organs are cut off shall enter the assembly of the Lord. This isn't talking about being transgender, it's not talking about being gay. This is probably talking about men who committed sexual immorality so bad that they had their bits chopped off, basically. So that's why they can't enter the kingdom of God, because the reason they got their bits chopped off, not because they got their bits chopped off. That's what, in my opinion, that is. So I don't understand why that's been put underneath being gay. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. So moving on from that, Corinthians 15:42-58. If there is a natural body, there is also a spiritual body. Thus it is written, the first man, Adam, became a living being. The last Adam became a life-giving spirit. But it is not the spiritual that is first, but the natural and then the spiritual. So to me, it's basically saying you're a spirit. That's literally what that's saying. I don't know why that's underneath being gay. That's just saying that you are a spirit. You're not a man, you're not a woman, you're just a spirit. The next one is Mark 10:6-9. But from the beginning of the creation, God made them male and female. Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother, hold fast to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined them together, let not man separate. That's literally saying that when you marry someone, you're one flesh anyway. So I don't think that means that gay marriage is not okay. That's literally saying that when you marry someone, you're one flesh anyway. You're neither no man, you're neither no woman. And to me, that means that if you did marry someone, that means that you're neither gay nor straight, because you're one flesh anyway. So I really don't know why these are underneath being gay, but I'm going to carry on anyway. Galatians 3:28. There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither slave nor free, there is no male and female, for you are all one in Jesus Christ. Well, there you go then. That's literally just explained that you are literally one in Christ. You're not neither no man, you're no female. This is basically just proving to you guys that this is not talking about being gay. There's nothing in the Bible that, I think there's one passage that sort of pinpoints being gay itself, but it doesn't even say it's wrong. And I've been through all of those, like we've spoke about all of that. So the next one, John 1:12. All who did receive him, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. See, there you go. Like, it's just said that if you give yourself to Jesus, doesn't matter if you're gay, doesn't matter what you've done in your past, you're with him anyway. No matter, you'll just have judgment day if you've done bad things. That's literally saying that you are his anyway, doesn't matter what you've done. So there you go. So Timothy 5:8. If anyone does not provide for his relatives, and especially for members of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. So that doesn't mention about being gay at all. I don't know why that's underneath being gay, but that's literally just saying the only bad thing that you can do is if you don't provide for the people of your household, which I think is fair, to be honest. Like, if you have enough and you're keeping it all to yourself and somebody else is going without in your house, it's nice to offer them some food. Like, nice to give them something they don't have and they need. Like, that's basically what that said. You're worse than an unbeliever if you don't help people out, basically. Proverbs 6:16-19. There are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are an abomination to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that make haste to run to evil, a false witness who breathes out lies, and one who sows discord among his brothers. So literally that's just said that there are 6 things that the Lord hates with a passion, basically, and none of those were being gay. So that's just proved my point that being gay isn't even, like, if it is a sin in the Bible, it's not even that bad. It's just said that those other 6 things were worse. The next one, Timothy 1:8-11. Now we know that the Lord is good, if one uses it lawfully, understanding this, that the law is not laid down for just but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and sinners, for the unholy and profane, for those who strike their fathers and mothers, for murderers, the sexually immoral, men who practice homosexuality, enslavers, liars, prejudices, and whatever else sounds contrary to sound doctrine, in accordance with the gospel of the glory of the blessed God with which I have been entrusted. Practice again. Practice homosexuality is mentioned in there, but it's practice. I think that means leading someone on, and I've explained that in the other part of this video. So I really don't think that that means being gay. I think that means you just led someone on homosexually. But there's so much stuff in the Bible that talks about being straight, so I don't think that it's nice or okay to pinpoint out everything that's mentioned about being gay in the Bible. I think that's just completely disgusting, to be honest. So that's that part covered. So owe no one anything except to love each other, for the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. For the commandments, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not murder, you shall not steal, you shall not convey, and any other commandment are summed up in this word: you shall love your neighbour as yourself. Love does no wrong to a neighbour, therefore love is fulfilling the law. So basically, if you love and you can love, and your love is true, then you're going to heaven anyway, whether you like it or not, basically. Because people that are evil can't love. I'm pretty sure that's mentioned in the Bible somewhere. So that's basically said if you've ever loved anyone in your life, then you have God in you. So the next one is Luke 7:47. Therefore I tell you, her sins, which are many, are forgiven, for she loved so much. But he who is forgiven little loves little. Basically, if God doesn't forgive you, then you love little, but if he has forgiven you, you can still love. Like, if you love anyone, basically, you're not hated by God, because people that are evil can't love, but you're not evil because you can love. I don't even know if I'm making any sense, but I've just been, like, reading this and I understand it, basically. So Hosea 4:4. Yet let no one contend, and let no one accuse, for with you is my contention, O priest. Let no one accuse you, no one should accuse you. Trust, I think that means. This is just basically about being a loving, caring person and a trusting person. That has nothing to do with being gay whatsoever, but I'm reading out what has been put underneath gay quotes. So Romans, therefore you have no excuse, O man, every one of you who judges, for in passing judgment on another you'd condemn yourself, because you, the judge, practice the very same things. So there you go, you can't judge anyone, don't judge your neighbour, don't judge anyone. That's literally just said, it's basically a sin if you do that. If we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves and the truth is not in us. Well, there you go, guys. You've all sinned, we've all sinned. One sin is no worse than the other. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but in order that the world might be saved through him. Whoever believes in him is not condemned, but whoever does not believe is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the only Son of God. If you don't believe in God, then you're condemned already, but if you do believe in God, then you're not condemned. I'm not saying you should, because it's up to you what you believe, and if you don't believe, it's up to you. I'm just reading out what the Bible thinks about homosexuality. So that was literally the last part of this video, that last quote, and I think that that's such a beautiful passage in the whole Bible. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but in order that the world might be saved through him. And if you think about it, him dying made a lot of people think, like a lot of people think, and a lot of people felt guilty and things like that. It made people think, it made people change, and I think that that's such a beautiful passage. Even if the Bible isn't real, I think that is a beautiful verse. So that was the end of the video, guys. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. This took me ages and it's going to take me longer to edit what I've already just done. I will be putting all of the passages in the description below, and I will be uploading more, guys. I've been just swinging this out too long, far too long, and it's just made me not want to do any videos, because this is the first thing that pops into my mind that I need to do first before I do the videos I want to do. So hopefully now there's going to be more exciting videos coming your way, especially now I've got a lot more time on my hands because I haven't got anyone to worry about apart from my family. But I haven't got a boyfriend now, so I can just use my spare time on myself doing things that I love with my camera. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Let me know what you think about what I've said in the comments below. Go easy on me, guys. I've tried my best to give you guys what I thought about this and my views on this. I really don't think that the Bible is homophobic. I personally don't, and if it is, then I want God to tell me why on Judgment Day, if he's real and if the Bible is real. I pray. Sometimes it gets answered. I'm open to everything. I'm open to Buddhism. I'm open to a lot of things. I read about a lot of things. We don't know what happens when we die, so we should all try and be respectful to everyone's beliefs. So I'll see you next time, guys. Have a good day, and I love you all. Bye. Hey everyone, I actually have a Patreon account now, so if you feel like donating to me on there, that would be amazingly appreciated. As little as £1 a month. I also have a Bitcoin account, so if you feel like donating to me on both, then feel free. I wouldn't really suggest just donating to me on Bitcoin, as I don't really know how to use it properly yet, but both will be appreciated, and I love you all. Bye guys.